What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Davion. Welcome to Consciouz TV. You guys are here for that Hot Topics video that I told you guys I would bring. This will be another 1, 2, 3. You guys already know to comment, rate, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned. So let me just give you a quick 1, 2, 3 on this hair. This is just regular, smegula, deep wave hair. I believe it's in inches like 38, and that's in a curly state. I've had this hair actually for like, I think 4 or 5 years now. So, I've gotten great fucking usage out of this hair. If you guys go back on my channel, go like way back, you will see this hair in like videos from like a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. This has been some long lasting ass hair, but the company that sells this hair is not a company that's in business anymore on AliExpress. But all it is regular deep wave hair, so you can go anywhere and just get you some deep wave hair. And I believe it's a 16-inch closure and 30 inches in the middle, and then a 38 on the bottom. I had to squeeze my big ass into all of this, honey. Yes. So let's get into Monday night's debacle on the Queen Supreme Court. Baby, Momma Dee came through like a goddamn wrecking ball. I didn't know whether I was watching a Miley Cyrus music video or whether this was an episode of Love and Hip Hop. Momma Dee came to the goddamn set drunk, higher than the Cooter Brown, and completely sexually frustrated. And as soon as Ernest's name ass came up, baby, she was ready to let vagina dialogues play themselves out, honey. She hit us with the quick boom pow cow. I already knew it was going to be a complete shit show, but Momma Dee definitely gave me more than just the #1 with no motherfucking onions, baby. I don't take Momma Dee seriously. She has a personality that is obviously made for TV. She's extremely over the top, and it makes for good viewingship. But despite the ratchetness and despite the out of controlness, I enjoyed Momma Dee spazzing. She gave us the raw, she gave us the real. But you know what's interesting about Momma Dee is that despite how crazy she is and how unfiltered and filthy her mouth is, I just cannot help but still see someone so loving behind all of that aggressiveness and all of that defensiveness, which lets me know that Momma Dee really does have a big heart, because anytime somebody can just be blatantly disrespectful and profane and you still can feel a warmth from them and you still can have a respect for them, it really means because their heart is really genuine. It's just that their egos are really fucking broken, and Momma Dee is obviously very affected by how close Ernest is to his mom. There's a bit of a threat there, or it might not even be a threat. It just may be the fact that Ernest is just indeed a fucking mama's boy. And no woman married to a man likes to feel that her husband will choose his mother over the wife's wishes and the wife's concerns and the wife's needs. Now that's not to say that mama goes out of the window, but a lot of people, especially Americans who subscribe to Christianity, they really believe in this whole put your marriage first. I mean, above the kids and above the rest of the goddamn family. So Momma Dee is one of those people where she believed that, look, you got to get your wife straight, you gotta take care of me, I need to be fucking happy, and then you extend yourself to whomever else. But when my needs are not being met in this relationship and in this marriage, but I see you performing and tap dancing for other relatives, for your mammy, yeah, I'm gonna be pissed off. But Momma Dee, you gotta pull back, baby, because at the end of the day, you and Ernest are still married. Those are your fucking in-laws. There's gonna be really no way around having to deal with the family, and you just don't want those type of problems. So y'all need to go seek some family goddamn therapy. You know, all y'all reality hoes need to be on Iyanla. Like, Iyanla just might as well start a podcast. She might as well have a goddamn YouTube. She might as well start doing radio and just start inviting all y'all ass and y'all family on and just really hammering away. I think Iyanla would make a lot of goddamn money, and she could come into a whole nother level of visibility in Hollywood by just taking advantage of herself as a spiritual teacher and all the Hollywood fuckery that goes on. But I thoroughly enjoyed the goddamn show. It was a hot fucking mess, and but it was a different type of a hot mess. Like, Momma Dee just wasn't like spastic and couldn't reel herself back in, but when she was going hard, she was going fucking hard. But she had control over her wrath, so she was able to pull back and also still give herself to the docket, give her opinions about, you know, the things that were on the docket, and it was fucking comical, and it was a fucking mess. And that after show just had my wig like, wait. Already know that headlines have been made by the mud missus herself, aka Khia, queen of the dirty bed bug south. She done got herself a new ass. Khia done went and put rims on that 1996 Volkswagen now. Khia built like a whole whistling cockroach, bitch. That ass is breathing and pooting and farting straight fire, bitch. I know it ain't nothing but straight up dragon breath coming out of that booty, bitch. Which is really interesting to see Khia get her ass done, because if I'm not mistaken, Miss New Booty had a lot to say about women with enhanced unnatural asses, and particularly big asses, even if they were natural. I think I recall Khia saying that women like Delicious from Flavor of Flav and the rest of them have these fat asses, and that men need to stay away from them because they have AIDS. So like the hypocrite she is, she goes and joined a community of people who she bashed, all because secretly she was really insecure and jealous that these women could afford their body modifications while she was still stuck performing My Neck, My Wig at local bar mitzvahs. Mud Missus had a lot to say about T.S. Madison being a goddamn Decepticon. So I guess, what would Khia consider herself now too, seeing that she is a Transformer as well? This bitch is built like the whole Fibonacci sequence. The bitch was looking like 2018 from the back and 1667 from the front. People have been wondering, why did Khia get her ass done before she got her teeth fixed? That's because her mouth ain't been giving her as many problems as a flat ass. This bitch got tired of slipping and sliding off of flat surfaces. She was tired of using wig glue in order to sit still in a goddamn chair. Her teeth might be on Section 8, but that ass is a 4-star Motel 6 room, baby. But the ass looks good. It looks like it's pretty much proportionate to Khia's body. I am all here for people making themselves happy in whatever way they need to. I am not super huge on cosmetic surgery, but at the end of the day, it's your temple, it's your body, and if a little plump here or a little suction there, you know, just helps you to feel better about what you have to wake up to and see in the mirror every day, then I'm all here for it. Jacquees, the king of RnB. The fact that this is even a conversation is just hilarious and shows just how petty and how social media have too much fucking time on their hand. Now, recently a video was uploaded of Jacquees moving through the hallways of some backstage something, and he ran into Keith Sweat, and Keith Sweat was just like, hey man, you know, we all the kings of RnB. I'm the king of RnB. You the king of RnB. Jacquees was not having that shit. He said, nah, nigga, you was the king of RnB in your era, and I'm the king of RnB in my era. And all Keith Sweat could do was smile and take a real big deep breath before he had them backhanded Jacquees vocals onto a original track. Jacquees, you could be the king of RnB if RnB means retarded and broken fucking vocals. Your vocals are more unstable than the heels on Kim Burrell's boots, bitch. I have never even heard your music. And matter of fact, I have never heard of you until now. And even if you have some type of a body of work out, I know that you damn sure cannot be the king of R&B with some type of body of work out. There's no albums. There has to be crossover appeal. Your music has to transcend culture. It has to transcend time, baby. People of all demographics still bump Keith Sweat. All people are doing is changing the station when they hear your shit on the radio. So there's no fucking way you could be the king of R&B. Does Nene Leakes get to claim to be the best comedian of the 21st century? Does Medea get to claim to be the greatest spiritual teacher of the 21st century? You slapped some mediocre vocals onto somebody else's instrumental and then paraded it around as if you had upgraded it, and you're parading yourself around as the king of R&B. This is what our generation has come to? Do people really present all of nothing and expect maximum reward and applause on nothing, on mediocrity? Jacquees! I'm gonna need you to have several seats, baby, because you're out of it. I also want to get into a little bit of this Kandi and Porsha beef, because ever since the new season of Atlanta Housewives have aired, which I have not seen one single fucking episode of, and probably will not be seeing a single episode of, has been a buzz. And it's been particularly about how it seems that Kandi is still nitpicking at Porsha, and people feeling like Kandi needs to let it fucking go. Look, I am team Kandi as it relates to whatever little residual bitterness and resentfulness that Kandi is harboring toward Porsha, because Kandi had let us know that she would only be willing to be cordial with Porsha for the sake of them being cast members. So there has to be a mutuality between them, because they both show up to work on the same fucking show. Now, I deal with things in proportion. What Porsha and Phaedra did was highly volatile to Kandi's reputation as a mother, as a woman, and as a business owner, as somebody who has a strong Rolodex and rep sheet in this entertainment industry, having allegations against her at a time where Bill Cosby was being indicted, the Me Too movement was really starting to roll, you know, the Harvey Weinsteins and all of this shit was coming into play. This could have been something that could have been really out of control, and there could have been some real issues of slander that could have impacted Kandi's brand. Even if Kandi spends the next 2, 3, 4 seasons taking very insignificant jabs at Porsha, that's really merciful, considering just how Kandi could have really dug into Porsha's ass. She could have put them hands and them feet on Porsha's ass, and she could have actually took Porsha and Phaedra ass to task and brought legal action against them, because what they did was indeed slander, especially since Phaedra admitted to passing something around that she herself didn't even know was to be true, and then with Porsha live on TV saying that Phaedra gave her that information as if it was fucking true. They incriminated themselves. If I was Kandi, I would have took their ass to task just for the sake of taking their ass to task. But knowing how Bravo contracts are set up, they really don't want cast members putting restraining orders on each other and doing all that shit, because they need all of them to be able to interact with one another. That's kind of the whole point of the franchise. But I just feel like any little petty ass shade that Kandi wanna continue to throw at Porsha, it'll never amount to anything that will actually hurt Porsha. It only get on her fucking nerves. What they did to Kandi was hurtful, not only to her but to her family. It was hurtful to her business, and she has every right to remind Porsha that, bitch, we only gonna be but so fucking cool. Only gonna be but so fucking cool. And you will always know that in my confessionals. You will always know that when I'm talking to the other girls. I don't give a fuck how it gets across to you, how you get the information. I don't give a fuck in what way you come to understand, bitch, that I only fuck with you in a very one-dimensional, long spoon-handled ass kind of way. But I'm going to make it my business to always make sure that the lines are motherfucking drawn in the sand. When you maliciously attack another person, they have every fucking right to get better in their own fucking time. And if you are mad that they're taking their fucking time, let that be a reminder of you to never fuck with nobody ever again, because you don't like giving apologies and you don't like waiting for yours to be received by nobody. Porsha, you did the shit, and you just gotta sit in that shit, and you gotta keep giving up your ego and letting Kandi have that until she is complete, because you don't get to fuck with her and then think that she ought to be all right on your fucking time just because you were ready to take accountability for what you did. So I'm with Kandi on this whole, you know, throwing a little light shade and digs at Porsha ass. That shit ain't taken away from Porsha edges. It ain't taken away from her ass being married. It ain't taken away from her business. It ain't taken away from nothing. And them hoes did much worse to Kandi. Much, much, much worse to Kandi. They did shit that could have ended up in courtrooms. They did shit that could have had someone end up with a good ass with it. I'm Team Kandi as it relates to that. Last but not least, I want to talk about a video I came across on YouTube regarding a satanic temple that was attempted to be installed in front of the courthouse in Arkansas somewhere. And it was a very interesting divide when it came to Satanists who wanted to put up a statue of the Baphomet in front of the State House in Arkansas, because we live in a country that is set on a lot of religious freedom, which means that in this country you can be Buddhist, you can be Christian, you can be a Satanist, you can be an atheist. Because there are people in this country who also identify as Satanists, they don't see any reason why their religious symbols should not also have public representation the same way that you can drive to America and see mosques, see synagogues, see Buddhist temples, see churches on every block. And Satanists are saying, bitch, we want representation too. Now I know off that, people who don't fuck with Satanism, don't fuck with the occult, don't fuck with the devil, don't fuck with any religion really outside of their own. I know what the obvious feeling is like. Hell no, bitch. No, 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 no. I don't want to see no images of Satan in front of the courthouse, at the state park. I don't want to see that shit nowhere. Keep that shit to yourself. But we do live in a we do live in what is supposed to be a fucking democracy. And America is a umbrella for all fucking people. When I listened to the actual Satanists, I had to agree that legally, yeah, Satanists have the right to represent their religion. And the public should not think that their personal feelings about their religion is any reason to take away their constitutional rights as citizens in this fucking country. So, this is what I'm going to say here to Christianity. At some point in time, this will be manifested. Because when you have laws that have to be so ambiguous and general and vague, because they have to cover the freedom and the liberties of all people, despite gender, despite sexual orientation, despite race, and despite religious beliefs, what you have within the vagueness and the generalness of these laws and legislations and these rights is a lot of fucking nuance. And in that nuance means that there will be people who have a legal right to say certain things, to believe certain things, and to represent certain things despite your personal feelings and your personal beliefs. And since that will be the case, because we're in this whole age of Aquarius where we're seeing every institution, boundary, and barrier, whether it's related to sexuality, gender identity, whether it's related to LGBT rights, whether it's related to the Black Lives Matter movement, whether it's related to women's equality, whether it's related to the Me Too movement, we're seeing every system in our country be fully fucking challenged redefined, destroyed altogether in some instances. Now there's a new wave of freedom and a new wave of people who we've never seen on the ground level, because they've been hiding in the shadows of a America who wasn't progressive enough for them to have outward representation. So all the weirdos of America, the gay community, the trans community, all the people who we consider to be different, this is their time to shine. The Age of Aquarius really is for the mystic. The Age of Aquarius is for the misfit. Those who have been left behind, those who have been overlooked, those who have never had a seat at the table, those who have never been a part of the conversations, those who have never been counted in. This is when we're going to be seeing the last be made first and the first be put last. This is why we're seeing all this fucking rearranging politically and socially, and all these things that we consider normal are being put under a very heavy microscope. And we're having to unpack and redefine what these things mean. Human nature, femininity, masculinity. I mean, every fucking thing right now is a conversation. So at some point in time in the future, there will be Baphomet statues in your state. What I would say to you is, I hope you believe in your God as much as you claim, because there will come a time where you're going to have to see some really weird shit go on in your country, and you're going to have to be okay and comfortable. Now, mind you, I'm very spiritually ambiguous. I am spiritual. I do not have a religious affiliation. Therefore, I personally don't give a fuck about Satanists fighting for their rights. They have fucking rights. They have a religion, whatever. And if they want to put Baphomets in front of fucking Walmart or the courthouse or the state house, I personally don't give a damn, because the God that I serve allows me the luxury of not having to be afraid of nobody else's God, nobody else's power, nobody else's any fucking thing, because I'm clear and comfortable and aligned and in relationship to what I fucking serve. So it was very interesting when I watched this news clip, because a lot of the Christians were running around Arkansas scared, like, oh, you know, Satan is the evil of the world and we gotta protect our children and blah, 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 blah. It was a lot of heavy fucking fear. It's funny to see religious people claim to be so God-fearing, but yet a fucking statue sends tremors through your body. It's clear that religious people do not have the relationship to their higher power as they so claim, because you should be able to walk past Satan ass without even flinching, because the God that you serve is in fucking control. So as it relates to freedoms, yeah, you know, in the eyes of the law, of course, I have to allow any person who those rights are for to make proper use of those laws. I'm personally not a Satanist. That's not my religious and my faith of fucking choice. But however, I can't stop people from worshiping whatever they want to worship. And mind you, a lot of the understanding about what Satanism is very fucking contradictory and false to what Satanism actually is. When you educate yourself, see, you know these things. And if Christians are allowed to be Christians and to wear their crosses and to have their Jesuses plastered on the back of tags and necklaces and have all these damn emblems representing Christianity, how do we reconcile religious freedom acts and legislation with our own personal biases? Because if you take away the Satanist representation, then automatically you snatch everybody else's representation with that, because that legislation and those religious freedom acts cover everybody who is affiliated with whatever religion that they are. Interesting conversation for this country, since we push a lot of Christian-based theology and thinking. But that's all I have for you guys. I have more videos coming up. Make sure that you guys share this content and that you guys hit that notification bell so that you do not miss a fucking upload. And I'll talk to you guys later.